The birther baby issue is back on the mind of former President Donald Trump. It's based on claims of former President Barack Obama not being a natural U.S.-born citizen and therefore was not constitutionally eligible to be President of the United States.
We're joined by Michael Charbonne. He is the host of the Charbonne Report. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Good morning, Deneen and Tom.
So, Michael, what do you believe is the motive for Trump's recent calls for a law on birther baby?
So let's start about the Constitution's 14th Amendment, which was passed in 1968. One of the recognitions or the Reconstruction Amendments. It was after the Civil War, so slave children could be citizens. The purpose of it was that if you had a child that was born in the United States, you would be a citizen. Fast forward now to the 21st century, where there were foreign nationals that were coming to the United States. They were called border babies or anchor babies or concierge services, where some of them were paying $20,000 to be able to be housed before and after their pregnancy to give birth in the United States. What the problem is what is going to happen now with 10 million illegal aliens that were led in by the Biden administration? When they start to have children, are they going to become automatic American citizens? Some constitutional scholars will argue that the 14th Amendment does not apply to those who entered illegally in the United States. They created a criminal act by entering illegally. And last Tuesday, as you saw, former President Donald Trump made a statement that he would eliminate that statute that could stop that from being a component that would just have illegal aliens having babies to try and sustain their stay in the United States.
Michael, change of topic. Meanwhile, CTV journalist Rodney Palmer says the government-funded CBC provided COVID misinformation. Palmer called one interview CBC did back in April of 2020 on COVID origins, quote, news propaganda, not news gathering. Then this. The Toronto Sun reporting the CBC retracted a second story it reported about the Freedom Convoy that turned out to be fake. Michael, what's your reaction to the reporting of CBC?
So the NCI, which is National Citizens Inquiry, it's a citizens-led initiative aimed at giving the voice to citizens. That's the first thing. That's what happened just in April. Let's understand what the CBC is. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation is the same level of leftism as NPR. The difference is NPR is socially funded, where otherwise the CBC in Canada is funded by the government, particularly the Liberal government. Their aim was to propagate everybody had to get vaccinated. So basically, the press was in collusion with the government. I was there during the Freedom Convoy. I was there for NEWSMAX and reported daily, multiple times about what was going on. There were false flag issues. One, for instance, where they purported this Nazi flag and this Confederate flag, and Prime Minister Trudeau went on and said it's white nationals and this is why we have to get rid of this. Well, what Rodney James did was really gave some compelling reasons and evidentiary facts of where these photos were taken, who released them, and that it was a false flag aspect. The problem is that just like in the United States, in many instances, the media, who is fairly left-leaning, is in collusion with the government and therefore filters news. I mean, look at the Hunter Biden laptop. It was released in 2019. We've had people who have been charged, convicted, served their time, and released, and nothing's happened to him. So we have the same problem here in Canada, and the CBC is very much a left-leaning, government-funded broadcast system.
Hey, Michael, one more question. So finally, the debt ceiling drama here is over in the United States. What's the reaction to our neighbors north of us?
Well, Sleepy Canada, it's funny. Usually the term is when America sneezes, Canada catches a cold. There was a lot of the people in the market industry who were very happy that nothing happened because they, for fear, America's our largest trading partner. There's millions and millions of dollars that go across our borders mutually every day. So grateful that it is resolved, but we still both, on both sides of the border, face the same problem of people with huge credit card debts and financing their livelihood and sometimes their extended livelihood using credit cards. So although the debt ceiling issue in the United States is resolved, and we are thankful as Canadians that it has been, it is the debt that is mounting in credit cards for your average person who has to look at it at the end of the month that is even more concerning and more of an ominous tide that is coming, Tom.
There's just so much going on. And Michael, very cool background you got there.
Definitely.
Thank you, Dan.
Michael Charbonne, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.